go stale again. I'll just boil up another batch for when he wakes up. Oh, I do hope the others will come back one day. After all the work James put into keeping the place going.
flares. What did you find? Please, tell me. That belongs to Miles. I can't say I'm sad he's gone, but not like this. Ugh. What did you find? Please, tell me. That was Rob's. A friend of mine. They were an ass, but always had my back. Wish I had his then. What did you... Hey, that belongs to Rebecca! If there was no body, she might still be alive. There's a chance. Here's a little something for...
Hello? Anyone there yet? Maybe I gave bad directions. Hello? Anybody? Ah, a voice! Oh, yes. I remember that voice. You're here! So, here's the situation. You need to get into the vault. I need to get out. This door isn't intended for easy access, so it'll require joint authorization from both sides to open. I'm on this side and authorized. You're on that side and not authorized. But no worries. I've got a plan. All of the Lost were once members of the Vault and should have authorization. You just need to get a hold of a hand and scan it. Easy peasy. I promise I, or someone in here, will be more than happy to answer all of your questions. Let's just get you inside first, okay? That's right. Just a bit of post-mortem amputation and we'll be set. Just scan the hand once you've got it. I'll be on standby. Promise. Time's a ticking. Chop, chop! Ooh, sorry. Anyway, I gotta run, but I'll be back. Scan a hand! Bye!
Oh, good, you're here! And you're not lost, I assume. If you are, say so, because that would be a major breakthrough. Ghoul? Isn't that, I don't know, a bit childish? Sure, I'm a ghoul, and you're not lost. Glad we got that straightened out. I'm a bit too busy for that, but someone inside would be very happy to answer all of your questions. Anyway, I'm Hilda Stoltz. Hi. I'm head of the organic sector, which is exactly where I'm about to run off to. But don't worry, my Uncle Hugo is very eager to meet you. Just down the hall, in the Overseer's office, as he is the Overseer. Oh, and I've disabled the two-step lock, so coming and going should be easier now. Anyway, like I said, Uncle Hugo, down the hall. Toodaloo!
What brings you back in here? Supplies are starting to dwindle a little, even with the stockpile from
New
the
animals
supply
up there.
runs. You know,
Any of them?
the storms.
Willkommen, bitte komm rein. My niece told me to expect you. And do not mind my appearance. I can assure you I mean no harm. Can the same be said of you, though, outsider? Do you intend to harm us?
I wonder how that happened.
Where are my manners? I did not mean to be so standoffish. You are a most welcome guest here. I cannot be too careful. It has been a long time since we've spoken with anyone from the surface. Ah, fascinating. Is that the faint clicking of a Pip-Boy I hear? How grand. A colleague from another paradise below the ground. Vault 76, I take it? What a pleasant surprise. Oh, don't be silly. You certainly aren't from any of the others nearby. There's no need to be coy. I think we can both gather why I'd come to such a conclusion. You jest, or perhaps try to deceive. Either way, it's so clear now. The way you carry yourself, that hum of self-assuredness you exude. So obvious I'm even a bit embarrassed. We are having fun now, aren't we? Listen, my new friend. Regardless of what pretenses my dear niece may have brought you here with, I believe I can repay you for your effort. No catch. Just opportunity. As you may have ventured to guess on your trip here, our beloved Shenandoah has seen better days. Less stormy days. I'm in the midst of trying to get this under control, but our vault is still in a bit of a state of shock. If you'd be willing to engage in a bit of freelance work, I'm sure I can provide plenty of payment in kind.
The old vault sure was something. You know, for the accidents.
Ha! As they say, lies have short legs, no? Rest assured, you'll see this is quite the legitimate operation we have here. Perhaps I should introduce myself to assuage any hesitation you have. I am Hugo Stolz, overseer of Vault 63, yes, but also a principled man of business from the world of yore. Founder and CEO of Stolz Enterprises, respected member of Vault Tech's board of directors, and overall international man of mystery. Allow me to formally welcome you to Vault 63 as our, let's say, outside consultant. Yes, that'll do perfectly.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air.
Oh, please. Hugo is just fine. Now, I'm sure you have many questions. I would expect no less, but I promise your first task will help you answer much. Speak with our Chief of Security, James T. Oberlin, and fetch me his latest situation report. I'd like to have him vet you a bit before we proceed any further. I'm sure he'd be happy to answer questions for you about our current predicament while you're at it.
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it will keep lasting.
You'll do splendidly, I'm sure.
The new animals up there, any of them good for eating?
What would Cassie do?
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath of barely fresh air. There was a landslide around the mansion? I wonder how that happened. How's it going out there? Windy? Airish? Ah, the one from outside. How's the storm? should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents. Are there many like us out there? You know, with the skin? It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little. Don't you be starting to change things up around here. We got a system.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know. Don't you be starting to change
What did you
things up
say?
around here. We got a system and it works, damn it.
I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Screw it. I miss how it was before.
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
What would Cassie do?
Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents. Vault 63 has lasted this long. No reason to think it won't keep lasting.
You reckon that storm is gonna get worse or better?
Looking for someone?
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
I'm tired of all the red tape and security checks just to get a breath.
Need something? I miss research, and science, and discoveries, and news. Ah, screw it. I miss how it was before.
You should have arrived a few years back. The old vault sure was something. You know, before the accidents.
Can't wait until this is over with, so we can get back to work.
Need something? Hey there.
Oh, my dear Cassie. What are we gonna do?
The new animals up there. Any of them good for eating?
What would Cassie do?
I wish Oberlin would act already. Things just keep getting worse.
The Overseer doesn't want to waste his time with mooks like us. He'd probably just send you to Chief Oberlin.
Oh, my dear Cassie. What are we gonna do?
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider. Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. Hopefully Daniel will report in soon. As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider. As if things weren't bad enough. Now I have to keep an eye on an outsider.
It's a shame we don't have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
Been expecting you. James T. Oberlin, Chief of Security, Vault 63. Formerly United States Army. Ordinarily, an outsider would report directly to the security offices. But as you've seen, Mr. Stoltz isn't fond of ordinary. How exactly did you end up on our doorstep, outsider?
you were able to dispose of them. Interesting. Must mean you have some combat training. That could be helpful. Well, considering I'm entirely lacking any sort of credentials or background on you, perhaps you can fill me in on your history.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for expression.
You do seem fit to fight, at least. But that's not really an answer to my question. I won't fault you for a lie by omission, though. You seem eager and able enough. I've already been made aware that you're a dweller from Vault 76. Mr. Stoltz buzzed me ahead of your arrival and filled me in on the situation. Sorry for the test, but wanted to see how you'd present yourself. I appreciate your attempt to take this seriously, but I won't say I don't have my doubts. Let's see how this plays out, though. Here's my status report for Mr. Stoltz. You're dismissed, unless you have other questions. Fine. It's only fair that you're briefed on our situation.
There was a landslide around the mansion.
Our facility houses a large-scale weather control device. Some decades ago, an accident rendered it inoperable. However, a recent event has led to its reactivation. With that, we have the storm, along with other unexpected outcomes. One of our top priorities is bringing it back under our control. I'm afraid that's outside your clearance level. Classified. Our facility, however, one of our top... A number. An earthquake for one. A series of unidentified electromagnetic events for another. Yes, significant damage to the tram tunnels that once connected the various research sectors of this vault. Additionally, damage to the manor grounds directly above have caused some structural integrity issues with the atrium. Perhaps most concerning, though, is the various exposed entrances to the vault spread throughout the region. This has led to an increase in the number of lost now on the surface, which isn't good for anyone involved. When the earthquake hit and the storm took shape, we were informed of a surge of energy near the proper entrance to the vault, back up north. This likely resulted in the security door being propelled some great distance. Interesting. Were these different times, I'd be tempted to weaponize such a thing. Very well. 63's construction had fallen behind due to its lofty and ambitious size. This left our population exposed to extreme levels of radioactive fallout after the bombs fell. Those of us that survived the exposure ended up like this. But working with us so-called ghouls won't be a problem, will it? Understood. Anything else? Our former friends, family, neighbors. An accident some decade back led to their creation. Their condition is irreversible. Beyond that, I'll leave it to Mr. Stoltz's discretion on further details. Just know, they will kill you on sight without mercy. Communication is impossible. Do not hesitate to strike first. Fine. We believe they possess the ability to channel electricity from the storm, though we're still not sure how. Perhaps consider rubber gloves next time you want to shake their hands. Again, the rest is classified.
Around here. We got a system, and it works, damn it.
That is correct to a degree. Mr. Stoltz had been afflicted during the same accident that created the Lost. However, he retains his sanity and his ability to communicate. Well, retain sanity is perhaps a bit. Actually, I apologize. This isn't water cooler gossip. I believe I've answered your question. Mr. Stoltz can explain the rest. That's fine. Good. Oberlin Report S-487. Internal issues. As well as the concerns raised previously, there have been several new complaints that have been added to the list. We're doing what we can, but we're having to prioritize and we're spread thin. External issues. Scouts report the storm is growing. The eye of the storm seems to be above the manor. Land outside the manor seems to be severely damaged. Unsure if it's the storm or something else that caused it. Strange things are happening to the flora outside. The area around the manor is effectively a dead zone. Areas nearby seem to be corrupted. Other issues. An alarm was tripped in one of the locked-off sections and was cut shortly after. Doesn't seem like it was the Lost that tripped it. Monitoring the situation. Oberlin, out.
Ah, you've returned. I've just been thinking on some things. Yes, that. Don't worry about that now. I have a question for you. Tell me, are we our brains? Yes, precisely. But is that not just scratching the surface? Consciousness, perception, encoding and the formation of memories. To take the observable world and sculpt from it a translation of ourselves, of others. And in the eyes of others, how many versions of us exist? Of course. We've only just met. I apologize. You have the spirit of an old friend about you. I've forgotten there's much new ground to tread between us. I may have failed to mention this before, but I am or was blind. Born that way. After the incident that left me in this state, I became able to truly see the world. Well, perhaps it's more accurate to say, I feel the world. Pulses of electricity, waves bending and refracting, gentle hums of life vibrating shapes into being. This world I see, I share it with the lost. I live as they do, yet I remain myself. Perhaps more myself than I was before. But others were lost to it, and to us. Friends, colleagues, loved ones. When they witness this world, they're minded, well, I suppose I cannot explain what their mind perceives, just as one could never explain sight to me before. We have been trying to learn why this connection was permanently severed between us. Desperately so. A scientist, are you? Just like my Audrey and little Hilda. We are unsure of why, but we suspect that my condition may have mutated differently than others. Perhaps it was my proximity to... Oh, never mind, B. This sort of talk is dreadfully boring. All of this is to say we need your help, my friend. There are many problems at our feet, and you are uniquely equipped to help us. Do not sell yourself short. You are clearly skilled in combat, seasoned by the world above, and knowledgeable on vaults. You're going to face a variety of challenges in future tasks, but I'm confident we've found the person for the job. Thank you. That truly means the world to me. Let's discuss next steps. There's 2 sets of investigations I'd have you undertake. Your new friend Oberlin can fill you in on one, and I'd be happy to walk you through the other. Take a moment to relax and process. Speak with either of us when you're ready to hear the details. And once again, I cannot contain my excitement in having you on board. Willkommen im Team, mein Freund. Hello.
No reason.
So, shall we begin? There are some tasks that I'm unequipped to handle myself, and I need your assistance. Excellent. As you've hopefully been made aware by now, the source of the weather phenomenon outside is a device that is under our control. Or rather, the lack thereof. Control, that is. In order to solve this error, we'll need to acquire the weather machine's blueprints. They are in the wall safe just over there. I've been known to be a bit creative with resources in the past, but I am not that wasteful. The safe can only be opened with a key that my beloved wife Cassie has chosen to hide in a very secure location. So secure that only she knows where it is. This is problematic, as she has been unwell and unresponsive for quite some time. That said, she was a diligent note-keeper. I'm certain you could find out where she moved the key to if you were to search through her notes. You should find them all in our room upstairs. It is unlocked, so you should be able to just walk in. With my condition as it is, I'm unable to do this myself, and thus, my new friend, the task falls to you.
Seeing someone do so much good around here, it's refreshing.
There was another copy, but I don't even want to get started, to be honest. Intellectual property can be so tricky to keep locked away. Perhaps tracing down the problem is something we could look into another day. For today, the safe is our solution. I'm concerned for my wife's privacy. Her notes could include audit reports and other sensitive information. While it means nothing to a stranger like you, it could sow discord in our vault. I'd rather not have files go missing or rumors spreading. You understand, don't you? You will? Oh, wie wunderbar. Best of luck.
What if we go back to the surface? Nobody wants to know us because of our, conditions.
We felt the whole vault shaking a while back.
I'll have to keep an eye on Audrey. I think... Make it quick. Your assignment does not require knowledge of the vault beyond the immediate area. You will find adequate signage for familiarizing yourself with the premises. Perhaps later, if you prove capable, we can talk in more detail. If I had time for idle gossip, I wouldn't be seeking your assistance in the first place. You'll have to speak to someone else. Point taken. Very well. The residents here are still a bit shaken up by recent events. And some less than recent events, for that matter. I'd recommend a light touch. You're not here to babysit. But there's also no need to be resistant to their requests. And unless Mr. Stoltz himself walks in here and says otherwise, I'm not at liberty to disclose anything further. I've been spread thin dealing with surface-side security concerns. My more menial tasks have started to slip through the cracks, however. I can tell you're equipped to handle much worse, but tackling some issues from my backlog would be of great service to me, at least as a start. There are 3 in particular who often bring up issues to me. You can start there. They are vocal. They'll be more than happy to provide details on themselves. There are 3 residents that have been complaining about a myriad of concerns. Margaret, Lawrence, and Julio. Your best bet is to track them down. They're likely lounging about waiting for someone else to handle the hard work. They should have more than enough to keep you busy for the time being. Report back when it's been handled. In the meantime, I have other matters I need to attend to, so please, if you'd excuse me.
have the workforce to spruce this place up a little.
These jumpsuits don't leave much room for discretion.